Hi, and welcome back to the KR Daily Transmission. It's been a minute. I just got back, and hi, wonderful. Hey, great to see everyone coming on. I've got Sophia here. Come here, babe. She's busy trying to eat the Christmas tree. Hi, Ashley. So we're starting a little bit earlier today. Got a lot going on with the holidays this weekend. So I'm just really happy to be here with you and to finally connect. I've been away on a sabbatical for a good part of December and doing a cleanse and resetting my energy after such an intense year. And I'd love to hear how you're doing. I'd love to say hello to you in the chat. Feel free to introduce yourself, where you're tuning in live from, what's been on your heart. Today, I'm available to answer questions. Today's a Q&A day. Hi, Teresa. Welcome to your first time on the live. And I know that everyone likes to get to know each other in the chat as well. So feel free to say hello to other people that are other community members that are tuning in live. And before I take questions, I would love to begin with a reading from the Sophia Code. Oh, let's not eat the tree because then you're going to get sick. All right, there we go. Oh my goodness. Teenagers. So, okay, so I wanted to turn to page 182 in the Sophia Code. And this is a passage that I was guided to read today before doing Q&A. And it's a passage from Mother Mary's Key Code 4 initiation. Oh, wow. We're doing that right now. Okay. And the reason why Mother Mary guided me to this passage is because it really represents the spirit of the season. It's why we celebrate Christmas. And hi, welcome, Zoe. It's the embodiment of, you know, what Mary and Jesus and Magdalene and all the saints, you know, came here to embody in their ministry. And really, so I'm going to just read it. I'm going to read it right now, page 182 from the Sophia Code. And I'm going to start with a paragraph that says, I watch souls arising as stars. If you'd like to read out loud with me, feel free to do so. I watch souls arising as stars from the no-thing to descend and walk as pilgrims upon the spiral path of the rose. The angels of the presence guide their every step with loving attention. Sky blue rose petals fall fresh upon me, their sweet scent filling me with the bliss of direct knowing as I watch the pilgrims. I witness that it is divine love creating the rose. It is divine love spiraling open the path for walking the way. And it is divine love guiding every pilgrim along the way with guardian angels of every form. My gaze returns to Mother Mary's eyes. She stands before me now, adorned in radiant golden robes. Above her head shines a brilliant star, from which a soft waterfall of luminescent gold energy flows, emanating as veils of light around her face. Her radiant beauty is an embodied transmission of the peace that passeth all understanding. She extends one of her open hands for me to hold, and as I take Mary's hand, I feel a great warmth fill my heart. For a moment, I look back at the spiraling path of pilgrims and notice that certain rose petal coordinates along the way are flashing from my recognition. I hear the voice of my higher self speak from my heart, from within my heart. This present moment with Mother Mary is an important step along the way for fulfilling your destiny. So I was guided to that passage because this is why we feel so close to Mother Mary and Jesus and Mary Magdalene. They help us access the peace that passeth all understanding within us. That peace is the divinity of our higher self. That peace is, it's unconditional. It's not based on the circumstances of our life. And I think that's a really important message during this holiday weekend. There's a lot of times the stress of this weekend where people are trying to focus on peace and celebrating the spirit end up stressing themselves out more than they need to. And so Mother Mary is inviting you to remember that you're in control of your experience, of how you want to create your experience this weekend, with the holidays, with Christmas, however you're celebrating or choosing to just be with your own heart this weekend. You have the ability to create an experience that is loving and caring and in alignment for your own heart, your own destiny, your own journey as you're walking the way in this lifetime. And this weekend. So hi, great to see everyone coming into the chat. So I'm happy to take your questions. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat if anything's been coming up for you around the holidays, any of the content that we share about. It's been wonderful to see the comments coming in on different YouTube lives that we've had all year long. Oh, Valerie sharing, thank you for this message today. This is landing so beautifully in my heart. I'm so happy to hear that, Valerie. Thank you for sharing. I think I'd like to add on to that, which is that not only do they help us access the peace that we are unconditionally, what was Jesus and Mary truly embodying? As Sophia is reaching for that Hopi rattle. They're teaching us to reach for our own divinity, the Christ consciousness within us. That's what any great spiritual teacher or master of light is only ever doing. Buddha, Jesus, Krishna, the Marys, they're always asking us to reach within ourselves and to celebrate that Christ Buddha light within us. And that no one can give that to you and no one can take that away from you. It's yours. And just like Sophia is going after this rattle, this Christmas ornament, it's like during this time of year, during this weekend, how can you choose to celebrate your own divinity within your human experience? Would it be lighting a candle in honor of your soul? Would it be decorating your tree or your home to celebrate the Christ light within you? Would it be creating a beautiful, nourishing meal that honors your body as the vessel and vehicle of the Christ consciousness that you are? Feel free to share in the chat any ideas that you would like to explore this weekend. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Oh, I'm so glad to see that people are really resonating with what's being shared today. Olivia is sharing, I am so excited for Mother Mary Speaks this year. Oh, we're so happy that you're going to be joining us for the journey, Olivia. Thank you. And I'm curious if, for those of you who have enrolled for the 2023 journey with Mother Mary, for Mother Mary Speaks, which is, where I'm going to be sharing more about Mother Mary's teachings and channeling a new book side by side with you. Have you been noticing more connection with Mother Mary this holiday season? Feel free to share as well about that in the chat. Mylan is sharing, I'm currently walking these thin spaces, wild, primal, and tender-throated, back of heart, super sensitive. It's so beautiful as I feel grounded more than ever before, yet it feels fragile. I would love to speak to this. It's not necessarily a question, but I love what you're sharing. And I want to reiterate, or not reiterate, but kind of, I guess, say I feel very similar, especially after cleansing for a couple of weeks and diving deep on my review of 2022. I personally feel like I'm in this in-between space of integrating who I became this year, as well as preparing my heart for who I get to grow into in 2023. And it does feel tender. It does feel like I just want to meditate and nap and journal and drink lots of soup and play with a spicy kitty, and just be with my own heart. And I just want you to know that that's a perfect place for you to be in during the holidays, during this time of year. It's during the solstice portal. Know that when we are really curious about the tenderness that we feel in our hearts, and we do our best to not judge it, but to support the tender unfolding, this is an opportunity to profoundly deepen in our self-love practice and to really just fall in love more and more with your own heart. Let's see, Valerie is asking, could you share more on how to access and recognize your inner Christ-like consciousness and how to verify that the guidance you are receiving is from that source of you? Yes, that's a beautiful question, Valerie. Thank you so much for asking that question. And Norma Angelica is asking, could you please share how to be present around negative family members? Ooh, great question. Okay. Let's start by accessing you, Valerie, and that's going to begin by always calling in your circle of empowerment, your sovereign circle of light. It's something that we practice a lot here in the Sophia Code Mystery School. And you can visualize a circle of light 3 to 6 feet outside of your body. And we call in the key codes from the Sophia Code when we do that. And in the 8 directions, we ask an ascended master to stand with us in our sovereignty, to help guard those different gates of our lives, of our life force, so that we can feel our own life force even more clearly. Let's see. So sitting in the center of your circle, if you're standing in the center of your circle, we always invoke white buffalo women in the north. In the northeast, we always welcome Isis. In the east, we always invoke Hathor. In the southeast, Green Tara. In the south, beautiful Mother Mary. In the southwest, Mary Magdalene. In the west, Kuan Yin. And in the northwest, the Holy Seraphim and the Sophia Dragons. In the center of your own body, in the center of your heart, in the center of your circle, we invoke your higher self. Mother Mary shares in her Key Code 4 initiation how your oversoul, which is another word for your soul, which is eternal, and it is eternal light and consciousness. It sends a part of its light, which we call your higher self, down into this world to manifest your physical body. And your higher self is the light of your own soul. So when you close your eyes and you take 3 deep breaths into the center of your body, into the center of your circle of empowerment, and you invoke your higher self, you'll start to feel a tingling in every cell of your body. You'll start to feel like a physical biofeedback loop that's saying, I'm here, I'm listening, I've always been inside of you, I'm always with you. This is the challenge with traditional religion, is that it so often separates us from the truth that your divine light, your divinity, is the actual life force that's animating your human body and your human consciousness. So you couldn't not be in connection with your higher self, even if you tried, because your physical body is a manifestation of your higher self. And so as you take 3 deep breaths, let's do that together. And you can visualize the word in when you're breathing in and out when you're breathing out. And we invite you to visualize or feel your higher self flowing through your crown chakra. Fit the light of your higher self filling your third eye, rolling down the back of your head, blessing your throat chakra, the center of your throat, with the light and presence and power of your higher self. From every cell of your body and from the very center of your heart chakra, we welcome your higher self to shine like the sun. And you may feel waves of energy as you invoke your higher self in each of your chakras and your solar plexus, like a starlight descending and ascending in every direction within your body. The beautiful sacral chakra opening like a mango colored lotus of light, lotus flower of light, and your root chakra growing strong roots from the base of your spine down your legs, the heart of Mother Earth. Your higher self, your divine light exists within every cell of your body. This is why it's so important for us to feel our bodies, to breathe with consciousness. Our feelings are our pathway to identifying that Christ light, that divine light that already exists within us. Mother Mary shares in her chapter that listening to your heart and to the voice of your higher self, often if you ask yes or no questions, you'll hear your heart telling you the truth. And the more you build trust in what you're hearing from your heart, the more you'll start to feel sentences of information and guidance that comes to you directly from your higher self. And Mother Mary shares in her key code for initiation in the Sophia Code that we're here to trust what is worthy of being trusted. And the divine guidance of your higher self is always worthy of being trusted because it's proactive, it's loving, it's generous, it's faithful. It believes in you. It never gives up on you. It's always guiding you to your growth edges. So it might not always feel comfortable to receive the guidance of your higher self. But if you follow through on it, you'll experience a breakthrough. You'll experience relief. You'll experience the peace that happens when you do follow through on your divine guidance. These are some of the signs that you'll know you're hearing and listening to the divine guidance of your higher self. Elizabeth is sharing in the chat that she can feel a beautiful sense of peace and calmness after invoking her higher self. It's a wonderful way to articulate how you feel your higher self. Another sign is that the anxiety and the worry that might be looping in your thoughts starts to slow down or completely quiet. And the guidance that you receive is often so repetitive because your higher self is constantly attempting to reach you and share the same messages over and over again until you act upon them. Many people say, oh, I'm not hearing any guidance or intuition. It's just like, well, maybe it's not the messages you want to hear, but you are hearing them all day long. We experience them as inner nudges, inner knowing, deja vu, feelings that, oh, I already knew that. It's like, yeah, you did. That was your divinity speaking to you all along. Thank you, Olivia. I really appreciate your feedback in the chat. So the next question that we received was, how could you please share how to be present around negative family members? So I'm going to share a little bit more about that. And then I can take one more question after that. So if you also have another question, feel free to put it in the chat. Oh, I'm so glad to see everyone here. It's so nice to see everyone coming on live. Feel free to introduce yourself in the chat if you're joining us for the first time. Let's see. Okay, so what was the exact? Yeah, Norma Angelica said, can you please share how to be present around negative family members? That's a great question. Okay, the number one way you want to start before you even arrive to a holiday gathering with family members that are very challenging, or even friends, or maybe you have a holiday gathering at work. You need to, before you even arrive, you need to get centered in yourself. It's very important to call in that circle of sovereign empowerment, to affirm your relationship with the ascended masters, your direct connection to God, and to fill yourself with the light of your higher self. It's also important to ask your higher self to adjust your chakras and your energy fields to the appropriate, like to calibrate your energy bodies and your light bodies to be in alignment with your greatest empowerment. So we don't want to be leaking our energy. We don't want to be receptive to that negative energy. We want to be filled with the light of our higher self, because when we're filled with the light of our higher self, what happens is negative energies and negative thought forms, they can't penetrate a positive, sovereign, radiant field of light. Further, the light of your own higher self can be feeding your own awareness in your own heart with self-love and divine guidance of how to take care of yourself around others that don't really care about how you're feeling. And over time, what you'll discover is the more you practice filling yourself consciously with the light of your higher self, the more you start following the guidance of your higher self. This is why if you read the Sophia Code enough times, you will eventually, all of your relationships will end up changing. They'll either transfigure into something higher and sovereign, or anybody that's toxic or codependent will eventually, you will no longer be able to tolerate it. And that is a journey of self-love. It's like when you learn how to treat yourself with respect and care and love around people that are not loving, over time, you don't even have the capacity to willingly tolerate being around those people. You learn how to say no. I don't actually need to spend time with you until you're choosing your evolution, and I'm not responsible for your evolution. But if you feel absolutely obligated to be around people that aren't healthy, that are toxic or negative because of a sense of duty, like, number one, I just want to say for the record, you don't have to do anything for anyone ever. Your number one responsibility in life is to take care of your own heart. Because if you do that, you're sending out a resonance into this world of what really matters in life: love, kindness, respect, creating safe space, emotional freedom to choose what is right for you. Whether anyone sees your empowerment or not, that makes such a significant difference in this world where, like, literally millions, if not billions of people are doing something extremely codependent this weekend, like being around people that are not good for them, drinking too much, eating food they don't want to eat, overspending. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with spending money on the holidays, but it's like people do not know how to emotionally regulate themselves, and then they end up in a world of pain at this time of the year. And it's just like, we don't have to participate in that. Every time you make a self-loving choice, a choice of self-care, you're contributing to world peace. Trust me, it's making a huge impact. Genuine world peace, because world peace begins within ourselves, the peace that we have within ourselves. So if you do end up feeling obligated to be in a situation like this, it's important to not take their negativity personal. It's important to not set yourself up to have conversations where you're going to feel attacked or judged. It's just like, there's ways to be around negative people where you are polite and present, but you're tending to your own heart as you walk through that experience, so that when you leave, you can feel as regenerated as possible. It's important to people are, if they are really committed to negativity, they're going to want to rope you into a conversation that is negative or fear-based, and you can just politely decline. Just say, I'd rather not focus on that in the holiday. Is there something else you'd like to talk about? And if they're aggressive about it, again, it's not about you, it's about them. And you have every right to excuse yourself, to change the subject, or, to just focus on someone else or something else happening at that gathering. Is this helpful? Feel free to share in the chat where this is landing, or if you have more questions about what I'm sharing. Oh, great. Norma's sharing. I feel so energized hearing your words. This is so powerful. Thank you. I appreciate you, Kaia. Oh, I'm so grateful that this is helping, Norma. Over the course of my life, I've made so many unnecessary sacrifices, thinking it was helping people to feel loved or lifted up. And the truth was, I just didn't love myself enough to know how to take care of myself, and to excuse myself from those relationships or those situations. And it was actually the very challenging practice of learning how to be sovereign around codependent or even disrespectful people that eventually I grew muscles strong enough that it changed my life, so much so that I'm never around people like that anymore. It's just not necessary for me. And everybody's different and everybody's path is different, but God bless your path. And thank you for your great question, because I'm sure many, many people benefited from this conversation today. Let's see, Odile is sharing, my family members are not aggressive, but they're hypocrites. They're not truthful. This is the most difficult, not having authentic relationship with them. Oh, thank you so much for sharing that, Odile. I hope I'm saying your name right. Isn't that painful when you so want to have an authentic relationship with someone, but you feel as though they're too afraid to have that deep-hearted, heart-centered connection with you? This is a great final question. How do we handle being around people that aren't ready to connect on a deeper level? Again, you want to invoke your higher self. You want to embody your higher self. You want to set the intention that Christ light, that Buddha light within you is radiating out from your heart during this holiday gathering. And it's important, if you know that they are absolutely refusing to have a deeper connection with you, it's important to not go into that situation expecting that that's going to happen. In fact, take them off the hook completely. Like, completely free them of the expectation of who they have to be for you, and allow yourself to, how do I see this? Give yourself the gift this holiday weekend of filling yourself with so much love for yourself that it doesn't matter whether they're ready to have an authentic connection with you or not. What if your higher self is blessing them and creating the space for them to know that when they are ready to grow, you'll be there? That's the kind of unconditional love that Jesus and Mother Mary taught about. When we no longer expect people to be the way we want them to be, this is a conversation outside of the context of abuse, by the way, we're not talking in terms of abuse, but to free other people of the expectations of who we want them to be for us. And to instead love our hearts so much that we set the intention during this holiday season in the new year that you're ready to create relationships that are so deeply authentic that they are a gift to your heart, and that you will allow your higher self and source to show you and to guide you to those relationships. And when we stop expecting people that are not ready to be authentic with us, when we take that expectation away, it frees them and it frees you. You no longer have to be disappointed over and over again by them. And instead, you can bring healing to that wound within your own heart and empowerment to your own heart, that you have a choice. You get to create your spiritual family. You get to create meaningful, heart-centered relationships that work for you. And they don't have to be the family members that you got stuck with in many ways. So as we free people of the expectations that we have of them, the other thing that can happen is they can surprise you, because when we stop expecting something that's not going to happen, it creates a space for people to surprise you with an authentic moment that also surprises them. Because there's no longer this unspoken battle about who didn't show up for you, which then allows for them to no longer play that role in your life. And it could lead to an unexpected moment of grace. And it might not. Either way, if your heart is being filled by your connection to God and the Ascended Masters, your higher self, and how your own loving awareness is tending to your own heart, it's going to open up a whole new world of individuals and community that is ready to meet you at the center of your heart in the most authentic way. Thank you so much for such a powerful question. It's really cool to see everyone responding in the chat and this conversation that's unfolding here today in the live. There's any other questions? Perfect. Okay, great. So thanks everyone for being live here today with me. This has been really fun. And I'm looking forward to sharing so many amazing announcements next week about what's coming in 2023. I'm not sure if you've heard, but we have our New Year's ceremony that's coming up on January 4th with Mother Mary, our Legacy of Love ceremony. So if you haven't signed up, feel free to sign up as part of your holiday gift to yourself. And once again, thank you always for your loving support of the Sophia Code. It's been so great to explore Mother Mary's teachings today with you. And remember, as you go into this weekend, that peace that passeth all understanding, that's the peace that Mother Mary and Jesus embodied as a reminder to us that we have access to that peace as well in all circumstances this weekend. And I truly hope over this weekend that you do light a candle, that you do decorate your home or create a loving meal or beverage in honor of the warmth and the brilliance and the radiance of your own soul's light. It's been such a special year to get to know each and every one of you better through the Sophia Code movement and here on YouTube Live. And I'll be back next week live to close out the year. And I look forward to being here with you. So have a beautiful weekend and namaste.